This book felt particularly heavy on recap, since the recap continues all the way into chapter 4. I checked, and sure enough, the 3 recap chapters take up a little over 15% of the book. Yuck.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
This book was written by Ellen Miles. When Abby arrives at home, she finds somebody has abandoned a baby on her porch. While this is a fantastic premise for a mystery, they should not have set this mystery during February. This winter has been so harsh, they celebrated a snow festival in Abby's last book. It's a miracle the baby isn't dead right now after being left out in the cold for so long. Even if the baby had been dropped off at the same time school ended, there's a pretty good chance that Abby would leave for a babysitting job instead of coming home right away. In which case, Anna would have found the baby an hour later, once band practice was over, and this would be a murder mystery. Abby instantly loves the baby because it's so cute. She takes it inside where she learns it's a boy. The baby has a red cowboy blanket and a bag full of baby supplies. Yeah, unless there's a crib and a changing tray inside that small bag, it's not going to be much help. Abby calls Christy for help. Christy has some questions.
"What time did you come home?" she asked. "And where was he exactly? And was there any kind of note or ID?"
The end of the book reveals there was a letter with the baby, which explains who he is and why he's here. Nobody noticed the letter, even though the people who looked at the car seat includes Abby, Anna, Christy, Christy's grandmother, and Police Sergeant Johnson. They are all idiots. The only person who notices the letter is Mom. Mom reads it, and she lies to everyone about the baby for weeks, because otherwise there wouldn't be a mystery for Abby to solve. At a BSC meeting, Mallory and Jesse introduce the book's subplot, which is writing. The babysitters will help kids write poems this month so they can have a poetry slam. That's a new thing all the cool kids are doing these days. A woman in Mallory's writing class wrote a story about an abandoned baby. What if her story is real, not fiction? Mallory and Jesse follow the woman around for the rest of the book. They confirm she doesn't have a baby, which could be because she recently abandoned a baby. This storyline is just plain silly, even for this series. You can't suspect someone of a crime because they don't have a baby. The majority of people in this town don't have babies. Abby searches outside of her house. In the driveway, she finds a pharmacy receipt that the culprit dropped. She tells the police. Just kidding. Abby keeps it a secret. Abby calls the pharmacy and pretends to be her mother. The pharmacist says they don't have a prescription for her, but they do have a prescription for M. Goldberg. Do pharmacies normally give out confidential client information like that? I feel like pharmacies shouldn't do that. A bunch of kids come over to Abby's house to play with the baby. Marianne tries to distract the kids with poetry, but it doesn't work. They all write poems about the baby. Shannon's sister Maria writes that the baby arrived in a green car. Maria confirms that actually happened. She saw the baby get dropped off. Again, Abby keeps this information a secret instead of telling the police. Mom gets a nanny named Erin Amsley. She's incredibly nervous because this is her first job ever. That's understandable, but the girls think she's suspicious because only criminals get nervous about things. The end reveals Erin's crime was lying about her references, hence her squirrely behavior. Abby's grandparents call. She tries talking about the baby with them, but they're evasive and change the subject every time it comes up. The end of the book reveals that Mom purposely downplayed the baby stuff because she didn't want to worry her parents. I guess that makes sense, but no, it doesn't make sense, actually. How is Mom able to pass off "we have a new baby" as something that's not a big deal? And even if Grandma and Grandpa don't care about the baby, that doesn't explain why they're being so evasive about it. The Pike kids make up poems. Vanessa's annoyed because she likes to be the rhyming poet of the family. Mallory gets a book on poetry, which explains poems don't have to rhyme. Mallory's examples of non-rhyming poems include sonnets, which rhyme, quatrains, which also rhyme, and Shakespearean blank verse, which sometimes rhymes. So 3 of the non-rhyming poem examples rhyme. Clearly the author did not do their research here. Maybe it's the editor's fault. Chapter 11 starts with Stacy writing a club notebook entry in Mallory's handwriting. Thanks to that goof up, we know the editor was not paying super close attention to this book. Abby and Anna agree that Mom's been acting super weird lately. Gee, maybe it's because she has a newborn to take care of. Abby breaks into Mom's study and finds a note that reads Miriam. Miriam Goldberg is Abby's aunt, who she's never met. Abby and Anna check old photos, which show Miriam had the exact same blanket as the baby. That means she is the baby's mother. And no, it's never explained why Aunt Miriam had a boy's blanket when growing up. Abby uses the phone's redial feature to learn Mom went to a hospital. Abby goes there, and Aunt Miriam explains everything. She's a single mother since her boyfriend broke up with her. Miriam gave up the baby because she's too sick to take care of him. She has severe diabetes and spent the last few weeks in a diabetic coma. We get a happy ending, where the poetry slam is a success, Miriam gets the baby back, and she goes to live with the grandparents, where they will probably never be heard from again. The end. Post-book follow-up. This is a pretty bad mystery. The crucial piece of evidence is a note that 5 characters looked for and failed to see. That's not believable. The other big piece of evidence is M. Goldberg's prescription, and it's impossible for readers to deduce M. Goldberg as Abby's aunt because she's never been mentioned before, ever. I don't like the mysteries where the culprit is a total stranger. 15% of the book is recap, so there was plenty of opportunity to mention Abby's aunt before the very end of the book. There's also the fact that there shouldn't be a mystery. The mystery only exists because Mom and Sergeant Johnson repeatedly lie about the baby when they have no good reason to do so. Yeah, this mystery is badly done. I'm not sure that Miriam deserves to have her baby back after abandoning him and almost killing him. There is a social worker assigned to the case, but we don't get told how they reached the conclusion that Miriam is now a fit mother. I wish we got more information about how Miriam originally became estranged from the family over a decade ago. That's probably not related to her recent boyfriend who got her pregnant, right? The hospital Abby visits is in New York, so we get a full chapter of Abby traveling to New York and gushing over how great the train station is and how wonderful New Yorkers are. These New York publishers never miss a chance to ignore the stories so they can brag about how great their city is. Overall, it is a bad mystery that I would not recommend to anyone. Even if you like cute babies, there are better baby-themed books in this series that you can read. This one is just a mess of people lying to each other, stupid fake-out suspects, and a surprise culprit that doesn't work. I give Babysitters Club Mystery number 28, Abby and the Mystery Baby, a 1 out of 10. 1 point because the poetry stuff was kind of okay, and yeah, the baby's cute. Sometimes.